skip speed booster, so he can't go quite as fast. Collect only wave beam or charge beam, and finally collect plasma and skip space jump, which means Dragon. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that row, and that is really nasty. Oh, okay, have not seen. Oh, here we go. And Toasty is forcing the diagonal from the bottom left to the upper right. So that's either the upper, let's see, bottom left to upper right means we're going to see a lot of missile collection there, either 25 Criterion missiles or 40 Brinstar missiles. Visit the critters, defeat Crocomire, collect all 25 Brinstar power bombs, and he will also have to collect Plasma Beam and skip Space Jump. So both runners are going to have to kill Dragon. Visit the critters means that Feral has to go ahead and collect Speed Booster because you have to have that Speed Booster for the Decora. And a whole lot of collection. You'll have to choose between those Criterion missiles or those Brinstar missiles.
Yeah, and the interesting part about the critters is that it eliminates both row 1 and column 3 from being available for Feral. So those are instantly out of his options since he will have to get Speed Booster to get to the Decora. You know, I'm pretty surprised that neither of our runners forced a skip high jump boots or a 4 reserve tank square. The 4 reserve tank one, you and I were talking before the match, seems particularly nasty because anything that forces wreck ship reserve, I think is pretty bad. And if you're also forcing all of the other 3 reserve tanks, that's a lot of running around to pick those up.
Yeah, 2 is fine because the Brinstar one is free and the Norfair one's not too bad. But when you have to get that Sandpit one, you have to get that wreck ship one, then that's just ugh.
Visiting the critters during escape does count. So I guess if Feral really wanted to do column 3, he could get, or really wanted to. Well,
I mean, his
yeah.
any percent time is pretty darn good, but you still have to pick up all those missiles and you still have to pick up all those power bombs. So he wouldn't be able to quite do his normal any percent.
Yeah. So he could skip Speed Booster, do one of those, and finish the game and visit the critters. I doubt that's the route he's going to take, but what do I know? It's Feral. Maybe he can do that really fast.
Okay, so the beginning of this is much like any other run. We're going to go down to pick up our Morph Ball and hit BT. And then after that, that's when things can get a little bit changed. Since Toasty does have to pick up so many energy tanks, one option he has is he could come after he finishes the room he's in right now. When he comes back here with the space pirates there, he could backtrack to that first energy tank in the ceiling and deboost up in a randomizer sort of way. You can't do that until after you activate everything by going into that room. So that might be a bit of a backtrack. So he might have a better time to come back for an energy tank like that.
Yeah, and it'll depend a lot on what he pairs with it. He's going to have to do Gauntlet. Gauntlet's pretty slow if he does it early anyway. So if he's going to be coming back to do Gauntlet to get those Criterion missiles, then maybe at that point he comes down and gets the C tank.
Yeah, I'm also pointing out, you said you were talking about the ones that Feral can't do. So since Toasty can't pick up Speed Booster, he can't do anything that involves visiting those critters. So he can't do column 2 or row 4. He also can't do 4 reserve tanks, so that knocks out column 4 and row 3. So that's a lot of stuff that he can't choose.
Yeah, he also can't get the wreck ship reserve tank, which is row 5 and
Row
column 5.
Yeah. So he can't do diagonals either because those will involve picking up speed boosters. A lot of stuff that Toasty is forced out of. And that might be one of the things that Feral was thinking about when he assigned that first row.
Yeah. What he might look at doing though is something like column 1, since he's already has to get 40 Criterion missiles. That bottom left square is free.
Yep.
Grapple beam and Meridia power bomb aren't too bad, and presumably he'll need to get gravity and be going into Meridia anyway, so because he has to get plasma. So I think that one would pair very nicely for him.
And of course, one of the nice things about getting assigned a diagonal is no matter which row or column you choose, you're going to have a doubled up square. Mm-hmm. So that'll be nice for Feral.
Neither runner picked up Criteria Map Station, so either they forgot or they're not going to do that row and column.
Well, I know I wouldn't want to do that third row with those 4 reserve tanks. That column might be an option for Farrell, since he's already picking up a lot of missiles, but that 30 plus power bombs is a pretty nasty one as well, so. Very nice BT for Farrell.
Yeah, I think you're right, Lunar. I don't think many people would choose to get wave instead of charge, given the choice. But it's possible that it's useful if you don't know the gate glitches to get to Croc or one something like that.
Well, and the nice thing about wave is even if you know the gate glitches, you don't have to do them. Charge beam being something that, depending on if you're in a situation where you have to pick up a whole lot of ammo, then charge beam becomes less worth. And if you get to fight Ridley and you aren't going to get plasma beam, you might just choose to pick up super missiles instead of dealing with a really low powered charge beam.
Mm-hmm. So with Toasty needing 10 energy tanks, that means there's 4 that he can skip. I think the likely ones, lower Norfair ones, he will likely skip. I don't see anything in his forced row that'll force him to lower Norfair, and since he has to do most of Meridia, I think he'll try to avoid lower Norfair. So I'm guessing Ridley and Firefly are off the table. Probably Croc, unless he's doing column 3, which he could be. He could pick up Crocky tank then.
Yeah, if he decides to do whatever to get Croc, that makes the most sense. If he decides not to do Crocomire, then it makes the most sense to skip that one as well. On the other hand, there are quite a few other out-of-the-way ones. We already talked about the Blue Brinstar one, which he could have gotten before and just chose not to get it early. Gauntlet's another one that's kind of out of the way. The Wreck Ship E-Tank is a little scary if you go in there with an underpowered situation. The one thing that would be nice about that column 3, though, for Toasty is if he's not particularly comfortable going to Fantoon with a low energy, he's got to pick up 10 E-Tanks. So he could just run around picking up E-Tanks before heading up to Fantoon, and then he gets his only 1 of barrier gravity by picking up gravity.
Yeah, and he is forced to skip Waterway E-Tank, so that's going to be... Well, I guess technically he's not forced. He could Crystal Flash at Dragon, get Blue Suit, and walk all the way back and get it. He's probably not going to do that.
I don't know. Toasty's just crazy enough to do something like that, but I don't think... I think this would be a bad place to try and showcase that.
Yeah.
So that's a good point. So that's going to be the one he skips. So that column 3 is starting to look better. He has to pick up Plasma anyway. So he has to defeat Dragon anyway. Crocomire gives him one of those E-Tanks, and then if he just gets the gravity suit instead of the various suit, that takes care of that second tile. So yeah. I think that's what I would do if I were doing this.
And it looks like Farrell's going to pick up most of his Brinstar missiles right away. He also picked up the reserve tank from Brinstar, which maybe he's looking at doing... No, he didn't get criteria map though, but maybe he's looking... Well, maybe he just wanted the reserve tank. I don't know.
Well, it could be extra safety.
Yeah. I do expect for Toasty to go up here. I'm wrong. Never mind.
Toasty wants to go down.
If he's going down, my guess is that he's not doing column 3 because he's going to want gravity.
On the other hand, if he wants to skip lower Norfair, and obviously we talked about he can't get that Waterway E-Tank, he actually probably wants to pick up the Kraid E-Tank, and he does need to kill Kraid to do that. So it's possible he's just going to kill Kraid and skip the various suit. And there's nothing that says he can't kill Kraid. He just can't pick up various suit if he's going to do that tile.
Yeah, I mean, I think that makes sense. I think Kraid E-Tank is probably more accessible than, I guess, Edikun E-Tank. Maybe he can skip Edikun E-Tank then. Mm-hmm. That's a little bit out of the way. Although he has to go get Wavegate. If he does, I mean, maybe he's going to do Suitless Meridia too.
He's capable of it.
Although he has to skip space jump, so that's going to make it a lot harder to get back.
Yeah.
Back from Dragon.
Yeah, that would be a problem. Of course, I think we talked about this earlier. That first column might actually be a good one for him too. So, of course, that also involves killing Croc. Pick up that Meridia power bomb, and like we said, that since he already has to pick up 40 criteria missiles, that bottom corner one is free. Nice quick kill.
Very nice quick kill, and Feral is going up to. It appears to either get some power bombs or go wreck ship first.
Okay, so Toasty is not doing column 3 because he now has a very well. Okay, unless he's going to do a really nasty suitless Meridia, he's not doing column 3.
Yeah. Shadering, you can get
Yes,
plasma without gravity. It's just slow. RBO does it, so it's definitely doable, and Toasty definitely knows how to do it.
But he won't have space jump. Part of the RBO strats is having space jump to get up there, so that would make it a lot more difficult. Okay, Feral is going to go up. Looks like he's going to do that early Fantoon. And since he is a new route runner, this makes a lot of sense for him.
Yeah, and if he doesn't need to do anything else in wreck ship, if you don't need the wreck ship reserve, then and you need to do Meridia, then going and getting gravity right away generally makes for the best routing. He's also picking up some extra power bombs, so maybe he's doing that row 5, 30 plus power bombs. No, he needs wreck ship reserve then. Maybe he's doing column 2. I don't know. I never know what people are doing.
Well, yeah, doing wreck ship first. If you have to pick up the reserve tanks, kind of doesn't make as much sense.
Duh. He has to collect all 25 Brinstar power bombs, so he has to get those. We'll see though. He could be picking up those power bombs just to circle back through to pick up the other Brinstar power bombs. But I expect he'll be heading over to he's heading over to wreck ship.
Okay, Toasty has picked up his high jump boots, so he's just knocked out that he can't do column 4 and he can't do row 4. We can go ahead and unmark the skip high jump boots for Toasty there.
I expect we'll be unmarking that for Feral as well.
Yeah, I would expect that too.
High jump boots are not very far out of the way, and Feral missing the 2-frame jump on, or maybe it was the 1-frame jump. I didn't see if he did the in-room setup or not on that wall jump.
Gonna go to the backup HBJ and gets it.
Nicely done, Feral. And he's going into wreck ship with plenty of health, 175. He should feel fairly comfortable. It's definitely not free by any means. It's definitely dangerous, but Feral's a veteran new route runner, and I think most new route runners would be very happy to have 175 health going into their Fantoon fights.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Toasty's going to go over to Croc. He's going to gate glitch to do it.
See, this is where if he would have had wave, he could have been through faster. And then he would have not had charge for Croc and could have had an awful Croc fight.
Yeah. Yeah, Croc with his ammo count's pretty low. Croc with a lot of ammo with no charge beam is not terrible. Croc with little ammo and no charge beam is awful.
You know, as much as it pains me to even say, nice air Doppler from Feral. As much as it pains me to say it, I'm a little surprised Toasty didn't pick up Spazer. Since he can't get wave. If he's looking for a little bit of extra damage and he picked up charge, it would have been helpful here.
Yeah, and the skip Spazer tile is not on here, so you wouldn't have had that option anyway. Looks like Fantoon's down for Feral. And Toasty's done with Crocomire. to pick up that E-Tank. That puts him at 4 E-Tanks. Still needs 6 more for the 1 tile. Interesting. Let's see, hang on. Yeah, he can't get speed booster, so he's gonna have to do. Let's see if he goes for that grapple beam. We talked about him possibly doing column 1, in which case he will need to pick up the grapple beam. And it's still pick upable. He has a couple choices. He can bomb jump up to it, or he can do a gate glitch to get there from the back end. Let's see what he does. Looks like he's gonna go for the bomb jump.
Yeah, and he didn't pick up the power bombs there either.
He doesn't need the power bombs. He does the bomb jump, but I still would have picked those up. And just even just as if it's the only pack you're gonna pick up, it makes it. It's just right there. Maybe he'll pick it up with the grapple beam when he gets back. And he does pick up the grapple beam. So that leads me to believe that he is going to go ahead and do that first column. We'll see.
Ooh, and Feral takes 3 hits from the spikes, but luckily had enough health and has some amount in his reserves. I'm not sure how much, but as long as he, oddly enough, if he had too much in his reserves, he would have died. So hopefully, in any case, he's
with
fine.
No suits, yeah, he's fine. With no suits,
exactly
that's 60
what he was
damage.
doing.
Yeah, it's 60 damage with no suits there. So, okay, there we go. Toasty's going to use intended strats to get these power bombs.
Nicely done. Yeah, Feral has only picked up the first reserve tank. He's only had the opportunity to get 1 reserve tank so far. He could have gotten wreck ship reserve if he got speed booster first, but he can't get it right now. So, although maybe there's some ridiculous crystal flash clip you can do to get it, but he would need more power bombs, and nobody's going to try that. And looks like he's heading right back down. It may be that Feral is coming back to wreck ship, actually. He's going to go down, get speed, beat Dragon, collect plasma, and then clean up his Brinstar power bombs, because he has to go all the way over to Edekun's. Clean up Brinstar power bombs, and then go and finish in wreck ship by getting the reserve tank.
Okay, Toasty getting his ice beam, which is required. And then we'll see where he heads next.
I don't know if it's faster. I'm just trying to guess at what might be going through Feral's head. If there's one thing I know, it's that when you're running these dab, my dog wants to come in. When you're running these dab routes, often. I don't know about Feral, but I've changed my mind on which route or which column I'm doing several times, and then I go back and forth, and then I end up doing something silly. And watching the streams back, a lot of times people believe I have some like ridiculous genius cosmic brain play, and usually it's just that I made a mistake, or I forgot something, or I changed my mind.
Or sometimes you don't think of things. Like in my race, I picked up the beta power bombs. I needed to pick up 15 power bombs, and I picked up 15 by going to Croc, alpha and beta power bombs, not realizing I was going to run right over a power bomb going into the blue Brinstar area. Could have skipped one of those. So, I mean, sometimes you just don't even think about those things, you know? There's so many details to this game, and as well as some of us know it, we still forget stuff.
Yep. And Farrell's picking up high jump boots, so he's definitely not doing column 4 or row 4.
Yeah, anytime you can, yeah, skipping high jump boots on purpose. There'd have to be a lot of really easy tiles in that column row for me to choose to do that.
Yeah, or if you somehow got some combination where you never even needed to come down to Norfair, like
Yep.
you just had to do Wreck Ship and Meridia and that's it. But as long as you're down here, he's also going to pick up ice, which he doesn't need, from what I can tell, unless he's also doing row 1. But I doubt he would
He can't.
voluntarily. Oh, he can't do
No,
row 1.
he can't do row 1 because he needs to get that speed booster.
Right. Well,
There's really no
have
point.
to. He could finish the game, or he could go get blue suit and come back.
I wonder if anybody's ever actually finished a bingo card by actually finishing the game.
I feel like I'm sure somebody has, but probably after their opponent forfeited or something, and they're like, "Well, I'm gonna now run, an hour and a half long bingo card, troll meme seed."
Okay, Toasty's now going to do his wreck ship.
He's going to be much safer than Farrell with Varia and 4 E-tanks. So he should feel really comfortable.
Okay, Farrell's going to go pick up his speed booster.
I mean, I guess if Toasty can get 10 energy tanks without gravity, then he could actually just finish at Plasma using Suitless Meridia strats. Which,
Sounds
I'm not
really
lying,
bad.
it would be impressive to watch. Like,
It would be.
It would be fun to watch, And there's Farrell picking up a speed booster, so we can safely assume he's probably not going to visit the critters by finishing the game.
Yeah, Toasty taking several hits from Fantoon, showing how much safer this is with Varia suit.
Yeah, and especially for E-tank Varia, this is I think basically Hundo strats. He enrages Fantoon though.
A little bit early on the super.
Yeah, using some Nintendo Power strats. Oh, Farrell falling down in the actual worst room in the game.
Okay, he's going to pick up that wave beam, so...
I think he just wants to make sure we know he's not doing row 1.
Yeah.
Toasty finally getting that last missile in. Fantoon trolling him with some evasion patterns there.
Yeah, still not quite sure what Farrell's going to choose to do. Let's see where he goes next.
Well, he needs to go down and kill Croc, so he'll probably take care of that now. And that may be why he got wave. Maybe he doesn't know how to do the gate glitch.
Or maybe just simpler. He was in the randomizer tournament a couple years ago, so I'm sure he knows how to do the gate glitch, but whether he's good at it or recently practiced at it are different statements.
I'm actually 100% certain Farrell knows how to do the gate glitch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm a little surprised though. If he picked up wave, he doesn't really need it for gate glitch, but he skipped Spazer, and if he's looking for firepower for his beam combo, It's interesting that he skipped Spacer.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's, good reason. Spacer's dumb, and he rightfully hates it.
And Farrell is basically doing this with ammo. Toasty picking up the energy tank at the wreck ship. Again, leading me to believe that, yeah, he'll skip. He has to skip a waterway, like you said, and he'll probably skip the lower Norfair section. If you don't have to go down there, there's no reason to go down there.
Ooh, careful. What will be very telling is if he skips gravity or not. That's when we'll know for certain, sort of.
Okay, well, looks like Farrell's going to go ahead and pick up that grapple beam. So let's see. That could, yeah, row 2 isn't looking bad for him. If he picks up that grapple beam, then he already has to collect the Brinstar power bombs. And the 15 Meridia super missile, since he's got gravity suit, shouldn't be too bad, and he has to do a whole lot of Meridia stuff anyway.
Yeah, 3 energy tanks is free. Meridia supers are not that bad.
Yeah, in fact, we can already mark that 3 energy tanks.
Yeah, I already did it. It just hasn't shown up yet.
There it is.
Oh, and Farrell gets the best mock ball in the game. GG. I think Farrell wins just on that.
There you go.
I love that mock ball.
It's a great mock ball. I'm awfully glad that we don't have squares that say, like, get best mock ball in the game. Might be fun to watch, but for some of us that don't quite do them that well.
Oh, Toasty's gonna... Looks like Toasty's going to... Oh, he has to get these criteria missiles.
Yeah,
so.
Here's 2 intended strats.
Yeah.
Almost missed that.
That missile did not want to be picked up, did it?
Yeah, in fact, it's this area right here that makes that square where you have to get all those criteria missiles so nasty.
So if he's going to skip gravity, he'll just drop down here now.
Nope.
Oh, okay. He is very likely not doing column 3 then. I'm a little disappointed, Toasty. It would have been...
It would have been fun.
It would have been a cosmic brain routing decision. But also probably a slow one, so good on you for not taking the slow option.
Okay, so if you're Farrell, do you go and visit the critters now and then come back to Meridia and get your rest of your missiles? Still not sure whether he's doing criteria or Brinstar.
No, I would go through Meridia now.
Do Meridia now?
Finish in Brinstar. Well, what do I know? Farrell's going to Brinstar, so you should probably listen to him.
Toasty, meanwhile, gets to take a little coffee break while he waits for Bowling Teresa to bring him down. And let's see what he does. At this point, it'd be really surprising if he chose to skip gravity suit. There, he's going to take gravity suit. So definitely not doing column 3.
For sure. Unless he's going to reset and go back to a save.
I'm not sure he has saved, so that would be hard.
Well, it saves when he lands on the plane.
There you go. That's right. Go back to essentially the beginning. Does remember to get this missile pack here. I believe he still has to get 230, still has to get Gauntlet, and the one that easily is forgotten is the Old Mother Brain missile. So I think he's halfway to his criteria missiles.
Yeah, because he got Moat and then all 3 ocean missiles. So he's got those 4 left.
And nice speedball from Farrell. Picks up one of his required power bomb packs. And to go ahead and save the ship. or at least refill. Did not save.
Then he's probably not going to reset. Or maybe he still wants to be able to reset in case he decides he doesn't want gravity.
There you go.
So he can't save.
Okay, Farrell going for the Mission Impossible power bombs.
Farrell doesn't need the E-Tank from Waterway, so he has no reason to go down and get it.
Now, at this point for him, getting any more energy tanks would just be a matter of safety. And again, as an accomplished new route runner, 3 energy tanks should be more than enough for him.
I was just waiting for him to go pick up Wavegate Tank and prove us both wrong for no reason. He's probably listening to the stream and just like, well, I should really prove those guys wrong.
And we have Critter 1 about to happen. Hello, Decora. Goodbye, Decora.
See if he frees the Decora. Nope. Not even freeing the Decora.
Okay, Toasty successfully makes it through Gauntlet and makes the drop properly so he can get both missiles on one shot. Nice moonfall to the Edecuns. This is kind of... I like this routing and this pairing because now he can get the... Skips the E-Tank, doesn't need it. But he can get the power bomb at the same time as visiting the Edecuns. Ooh, and Toasty... Okay, there we go. He needs to go back the other way because he's got 2 more missile packs to pick up. Is that his last power bomb?
That is his last power bomb pack.
All right, so we've got all those Brinstar power bombs.
So all he's got left, and he's also visited the critters.
Got the critters.
All he has left is to do some Meridia cleanup.
And does he have 40 Brinstar missiles yet? Or 20? You wouldn't have 25 criteria. He definitely did not go to all those. Oh, barely misses. Almost end up back in the Decora pit this time, but...
I'm trying to count the Brinstar ones he's got. He got first missiles for sure.
Yep.
He got all 3 in early supers.
So that's 4.
That's 4. He got the ones outside Mission Impossible in charge. Yep. He got Green Hills.
Yep.
That's 7. Did he get the one behind Alpha PBs?
Yes, I believe so.
Then that would be 8.
Okay. And there, Toasty gets his Old Mother Brain missiles. I did not see if he went and got those 230 missiles. He must have.
He did.
He did. Okay, so he's done with his Criterium missiles. Okay.
You know, I'm a little surprised Farrell didn't pick up the Edekuni tank since it's right there.
It's right there.
It would have provided him a ton of safety against Dragon and Batwoon. I mean, it's probably going to be fine.
But it's a 7-second pickup for all that safety, like you say.
He's going to get Main Street missiles here. I'm not sure why.
Choice.
Unless he thought they were supers and forgot they were regular missiles.
Yeah, I suppose possible. Oh, missed on the super little. There we go. Now he gets in there.
There's that super missile he wanted.
Yep. It looks like Toasty's going to go back and get some of these E-tanks over in Brinstar, which basically he has to, again, unless he wants to go to Lower Norfair. And here's another reason why you might choose to pick up Wave Beam instead of Charge Beam. Here's another gate. Toasty, again, accomplished randomizer runner, so he knows how to do this. Gets it on the third try. A little easier with high jump boots.
Yeah, there's 8, I believe. Or is that 7 for Toasty? That's 8.
It's 8.
So he'll get the Edakun 1, and he needs one more after that.
Well, he has to kill Dragon, so just get the bot wound.
Yeah.
Maybe he already got the Edakun because he's leaving. Either way, he's still. If he needs 2 more, yeah.
Mama Turtle with it.
Yeah, Mama Turtle might be a little less out of the way. Yeah, Feral gonna stop and farm a bit.
So they both have to go kill Dragon and grab Plasma. But Feral's gonna finish there, and Toasty will have to likely come all the way back to Craig's room.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure what Toasty's plan is for his other.
I assume it's row 1. He'll kill Dragon, grab Plasma, come back down through the sand pit to get the power bomb, and finish in Craig's room.
You mean column 1?
Column 1. Yeah,
yeah,
he's definitely doing row 1.
He has to do. He's definitely doing row 1.
Looks like Feral's going to take a save here just to make sure. I'm not sure if he's watching the read stream at all, but he may know he's got a lead, and all he has to do is kill Dragon and not die. So it's a nice safety save there, especially since he's so low on health.
Yeah, I mean that spark. Yeah, it's actually a spark. You have to be a little careful about. If he'd had a little less energy, you can actually soft lock yourself jumping up there, because you'll run out of 29 energy and then be right in between 2 sets of speed blocks, and you're just stuck.
And maybe that's why he saved too, is he wasn't sure, because he was only 5 off, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this energy tank a lot more difficult to get without speed booster or space jump. Ooh, what a bot wound that was for Feral.
Nicely done.
Oh, took the 1 hit, finished it off with only 4 energy, but still 1 round. That was beautiful.
And I expect he'll pick up bot wound tank.
Yeah.
And he can just fry some shrimp with X-ray, or not X-ray, grapple here.
Oh, Toasty with some intended strats with the grapple beam in Mount Everest room. Typically, you'll see runners will use speed booster to get up there, but of course, Toasty does not and cannot get speed booster. He could do a gravity jump here too if he wanted to. Looks like that's what he's setting up. And we'll see if Feral goes for a speed booster kill here or for a grapple kill here. It looks like he might be setting up for a quick grapple kill, but we don't know which way the swoops are going to go. So, oh, nope, he's going to start with the X Factor. Looks like he's going to go for the any % speed booster strats. And gets a blue suit out of it.
Very nicely done.
And here's another place where not having wave kind of sucks. I mean, yeah, he's got charge beam, but charge ice is going to be a lot more shots here on bot wound. And using the ice shield for extra damage. Okay, so all Feral has to do is collect that plasma beam.
Well, does he have the 40 Brinstar missiles?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I think he does.
I'm gonna see if I can dig through the video and see if
We might have
the
to.
ones behind Alpha PB.
Wow, this is a difficult bout wound for Toasty. There, and now he's down. Fortunately, with 9 E-tanks, it's not so bad. So he's about to get his 10th E-tank. And Feral has gone ahead done. The official SRL time of 41:11. And yes, Dragon does need to be defeated to unlock Plasma. There's no way around that. Looks like Toasty's gonna keep on going.
All right, I did confirm that he got the missiles behind the Alpha power bombs, so I believe that is 40 Brinstar missiles for him.
Okay, so then I guess we can go ahead and mark up. There we go. He's been marked as the winner. I was about to do that. Congratulations to Feral. He'll be moving on in the winner's bracket.
With a really good timing too. 41:06 for a dab time is really good, especially for a card he was complaining about looked so hard.
I know, right? Let's see if I can figure out who he'll be playing next. That is not the right tournament.
Toasty's going to be in a little bit of trouble here if Dragon stabs him about 800 times. He'll die.
Yeah, though he just doesn't have quite enough E-tanks there for it. Okay. Okay, and Feral is going to move on to play Gameaholic. So that should be a good match as well. And Toasty will go into the loser's bracket. And let's see, does he have an opponent there? No, he wouldn't have an opponent there yet. So he'll have to wait and find out who he's going to go ahead and...
Yeah, Gameaholic, just get a sub 40 dab time, and I think you'll beat him by a couple minutes. Should be no problem.
Okay, so now Toasty's finished up his Dragon, so he'll pick up his his Plasma Beam. He might go ahead and pick up that Power Bomb first. If he goes and picks up the Power Bomb, then we'll know he's going for that column 1. Although it might be better routing.
I'm not sure what other column he could be doing. If he's
I know, he's blocked out a whole bunch of them, and some of them were blocked out for him. Okay, he's going to get the Plasma Beam first. See, without Space Jump, I think I'd go ahead and pick up the Power Bomb first, and then come up the toilet to get the Plasma Beam. But Toasty has other ideas.
And we are joined here by Feral. GG, Feral. Congratulations on your win.
Yep, GG.
we are joined here by Farrell.
Yeah, and I think you need to turn your sound off on the
Oddly
restream.
enough, I hear the restream, but not the
Yeah, I
runner.
know. I can't hear Farrell. Yeah, he said he might have mic issues, so we'll see if he can get that worked out. Yeah, let's see what he says. Yeah, he's laughing at that. Okay, Toasty gonna go ahead and pick up his plasma beam. Also going to point out this is one of the areas where not having high jump or space jump would be really bad. It's doable with bomb jumps or really frame perfect wall jumps, but definitely don't want to be making those if you don't have to. So when you're forced to skip space jump, skipping high jump is just not a good option. And he gets the wall jump, has to kill one last pirate. And he's done with that.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think routing down through Aqueduct and then coming up to Plasma might have been a little bit faster.
Yeah,
he's gonna have to go back through Cack Alley without space jump. It's gonna be very fast.
No fun in either direction. Now he has to go both directions. He could have avoided that area completely.
That said, he could decide at this point that he wants to visit the critters by finishing the game, go grab Criteria Map Station, get some power bombs and all 15 Meridia Supers, and finish that way. Toasty did collect both suits.
Yes, he did. He did collect both suits, so that knocks out column 3. Yeah, if he had skipped the Varia suit or if he had skipped one of those suits, then that row actually would have been a really nice one for him. Or sorry, that column, because he could have just been done right there at Plasma.
Yeah, I would have really liked to be able to do column 3 if I was Toasty. It does force you to do wreck ship first though, which is scary.
I actually would disagree, considering because he has the 10 energy tanks. Go ahead and pick up a whole bunch of energy tanks, and then go to the wreck ship. You have to pick them up at some point anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you want to go pick them up, beat Croc, and then go back to wreck ship though, and then go back to Meridia.
No, not my first choice. But if I'm not good enough, if I'm not feeling comfortable with going to wreck ship with just the 1 E-tank and no suits, then that's what I'm going to do.
Toasty finding his way through the maze. There he goes. Now he's got his power bombs.
Okay, looks like Farrell's going to try again. Let's move him in here.
I think they're testing out his mic.
Okay, should I move him back?
Oh.
Hey,
hello?
Farrell.
You there?
Hi, I can hear.
Excellent.
I got moved.
I don't know. I realized that you were probably testing it as I was moving you.
Yeah. I just tried a different headset. I know Discord's funny with my mic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's working now, so that's good.
Well, congratulations on your win.
Thank you. I wasn't expecting a time like that.
Yeah, that was a really good
nice
dab time.
And I switched row halfway through as well. I was going to do column 5, and then halfway through I realized row 2 was much better.
Yeah, that wreck ship reserve tank, when you went to wreck ship first, maybe not such. Yeah, you'd have to backtrack way up there.
Well, it was just as I was entering Red Tower, and I thought I was looking, Roti was better, so I decided to do wreck ship first, and I got ice because I didn't know whether I needed it or not. I was
wondering why you got ice.
I was routing Meridia through my head, thinking, "Do I need ice for anything?" And I couldn't think, so I thought, "Oh, it's like a minute or something. I'll just get it." So.
Yeah, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right?
Exactly. So I got it, and then I think I couldn't remember where the supers were in Meridia, so I got Main Street.
Yeah, we were wondering about that.
And I got that, and I thought, "Oh god damn it, they're missiles."
Well, it was a really nice short charge, Farrell. So.
Thanks, yeah.
Yeah, get to show off a little bit.
But once I had the route set in my head, I knew exactly what I was going to do, and once I had the roast set that I was going to do. So it was just trying to remember the game, because being mainly any percent runner, I couldn't remember like all these other rooms. I was trying to think of where enemies were and what to do in them. It's been 2.5 years since I've done 100%, so.
Well, yeah, I think you routed it really well. I think the only real option was whether or not you were going to do Meridia before all the Brinstar cleanup. But I think either way, probably
it was Plasma that put me off that. I remember Plasma being quite out of the way, so I just decided to do Brinstar first.
Mm-hmm.
And halfway through, I opened up a map on Google to find where all the power bombs were, because I couldn't remember them.
Fortunately, that's allowed.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you could just change the rules on us if you want.
I am an organizer, so if it wasn't allowed, I was just changing the rules.
And Toasty has just finished up, finishing in Craig's room with an official SRL time of 51:55. Actually, still a really good time.
That's a really good time, yeah.
Yeah, it is. So I got to ask you. So we've gone about a week. How do you feel the tournament's going so far?
Pretty good, actually. We have a lot more people in this one than the last one. I think we only had, was it 28, 24, something in the last tournament?
Before my time. Yeah, it was before my time, so I couldn't tell.
And then we had more than that sign up within like 2 days. And then we got a bunch of last minute sign-ups. So 48 is really good, and it's going well. So thank you for commentating. You've commentated a few now. So.
Yeah, both of us have. So yeah. I love commentating.
Yeah. So. No problem, Pearl. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun.
But yeah, hopefully we've got a lot of good dab matches to come.
Yeah, we've had some really good ones so far. I mean, and some really interesting stuff happening with mistakes and such. Hey, Toasty.
Hey, Toasty.
Hey, good game, Farrell.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, GG, Toasty.
Thank you.
That's a good time.
Yeah, Toasty, we were wondering in commentaries doing this, we thought there's a possibility you might be making the cosmic brain play of getting Varia and doing suitless Meridia for your Meridia clears and doing that middle column.
Well, I had to get the criteria missiles, so I had to go to the ship no matter what. Yes. At least, so skipping, I just thought I might as well get gravity before that, save me so much time. Yeah, especially because I have to go all the way to Dragon, all the way to the Sand Pit, all the way to Plasma.
I think I locked out a few rows for you as well.
Yeah, I think we counted about 4 or 5. There were a lot of, and I think the diagonals are out for him too, because he had to skip Speed Booster. Yeah, there's a lot of Speed Booster squares.
There were a few that you could have technically got, like you could have visited the critters by finishing the game, but it's probably not going to be the fastest way to finish.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. No, I think that was my only mistake, is I think that top row, I looked at that, I definitely should have picked that for Farrell. It was way harder. I mean, it was way more time consuming. It was actually
the 10 energy tanks that made me pick it at first, before I realized that I was locking out a few things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that was my big misplay, and you did the right thing, Farrell.
Yeah. I'm actually curious what you both think of, because I was talking about the card before the match, that top left to bottom right forcing 10 energy tanks and wreck ship reserve and skipping high jump boots.
That was my second choice if I didn't go with row 1.
That's
Either way, I wanted the 10 energy tanks just because of how time consuming it is.
It's insane. Yeah, that is an insane tile.
You know, there's
Yeah.
an 11 energy tank tile out there too. So just saying.
And I really wanted 4 reserves in there because that's. I couldn't have both.
I was thinking, yeah, that would be epic. But I was also considering that column 4. But
yeah, column 4 with the 4 reserves and the skip high jump.
Yeah, that would be icky. Yeah, I think that both the 10 energy tanks and criteria missiles kind of pain in the butt. It's just a lot of collection. It's definitely a time sink there. So, yeah, that was good.
It was a good race though. I'm looking forward to watching it back.
Yeah, it was definitely a good close race and some interesting discussion about. It's always fun as a commentator to try to figure out what is going through your head, and as I was telling Tracy,
see, that's the real reason why I picked up ice, just to put you off.
Just stress
exactly. I'm going to make sure I do that in my next race. I'm going to pick up just one completely out of the way.
Oh
item not even on the bingo card. It'll just.
Let me add that missile skip I had in my race at the very beginning, that was totally on purpose, just to screw everybody up. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's
look
look
I think
and see.
there's a match coming straight up after this.
Yeah,
isn't
there is actually.
Channel, so.
Let me see.
Right.
I believe that's Cross Product versus D-Drag, so that should be a really fun one.
Awesome. Yeah.
Cross Product of the Crystal Flash clip. So D-Drag, if you're listening, you might want to give the grappleless spring ball.
I know Cross Product's a big randomizer player. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I know what his favorite tile. I know what his least favorite tile is, so it should be fun.
D-Drag brings their game.
Yeah, D-Drag's no slouch at the randomizer himself, but
I'm not familiar. He's a really good runner. I'm not familiar with him in a randomizer context.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the league he finished a little bit out of the playoffs, but not too far. He did a very nice job in the league. So.
All right. Well, I will. I'm not commentating the next race, unlike Tracy. So I will say thank you and GG to both Farrell and Toasty. Thank you to everybody watching. Make sure you follow the runners and make sure you watch out for more of these dab races because these have been a ton of fun. Thank you, organizers. I know Farrell, you're part of that shadow council. So thank you,
yeah, and now having done the league, I now know how work it is to be an organizer. So thank you very much for the work you do.
Yes.
And also,
thank you, commentators.
And also want to shout out Spaghetti Toast Book and Link40 for doing our tracking. We're freed up to just commentate and not have to worry about marking squares. So I thank you to those two as well.
Yeah, the trackers are the real MVPs.
Absolutely. I'm a terrible tracker.
Yeah, the number of times where I said, wait, how many Brinstar missiles does Farrell have?
Yeah.
What's going on?
I recounted about 10 times. Like when I was in Norfair, I went through them. Have I got 40? And then I revisited Brinstar. Have I got 40?
I
was trying to think of whether the first missiles were criteria or not, and but I did get 40.
Yeah, we're pretty certain you did. So
I have found it's often easier to figure out how many you can skip and then just count which ones you've skipped to make sure that you get enough.
That's a good idea. Right, well, I'm heading off, so
awesome.
Thank you very much, Farrell. It's been fun.
GG.
All right, and I'm going to head off so we can get the next race set up. So thank you to everybody, and see you in about 20 minutes.